Yes, guys, welcome back to another video the day after the big game, the biggest game of the Premier League this season. Arsenal going down 3-1 at the Emirates and Manchester City going back to the number one spot at the top of the Premier League. But in this video, I'm going to discuss two issues that I believe could cost Arsenal the title because, of course, it's not over yet. Arsenal still have a game in hand. If they win that, they go back to the top of the Premier League. But things are looking, obviously, clearly less likely for Arsenal to win the league than they were a couple of weeks ago. And I got two reasons that I think could potentially cost Arsenal the title. Let's go into the first one then, and that is for me the January transfer market. Now, Arsenal managed to assemble themselves a pretty decent starting 11 and a fairly okay squad at the start of the Premier League season to go in for the top four race. However, they're not in a top four race, they're in a title race. And when you're in a title race, you need a squad. And I just look at what Arsenal did in January, and I just think it lacks ambition. It lacks ambition. The signing of Trossard, I think it lacks ambition. Trossard's a good player. Should he be in a team that's challenging for the title? Look, in my opinion, no. And I know some people will disagree with that, and that's fine. That's football opinions. I think they got him because he was cheap. He was 21 million. His contract was coming into an end, and it just, it's not the main issue, but I think they could have done slightly better there. They signed Jakub Kiwior as well, a centre-back for £21 million. Don't really know much about him. Saliba and Gabriel have been decent. They do have that cover in Ben White who can play centre-back, and getting another centre-back in for £20 million, not the worst signing in the world. The big one, of course, and one that you could argue, did it cost them in the game last night against Man City, was the signing of Jorginho. Now, Jorginho did actually play quite well. He didn't do anything wrong in the game, I thought. But he wasn't Thomas Partey, and he's not as good as Thomas Partey. And again, why did they sign Jorginho? Was it because they liked Jorginho? Was it because they thought Jorginho could improve the squad? Which to be fair, he probably has done. Or did they get him because he cost 10 million quid? Let's be honest, they signed him because he was 10 million quid. I just think if you're an Arsenal fan, I think that come the end of the season, if you don't win the league, I think you could look back on January and go, you know what? We spent, 50 million quid? 50 million quid when you're in a title race. I mean, let's be honest, I don't believe Arsenal will be in a title race next season. I think it'll be much harder. You'll be in the Champions League. I think there'll be much more pressure to win a trophy, FA Cup, Carabao Cup. Chelsea, you'd expect to be up there. I think United will improve. City will improve and be up there as well. And Liverpool, you'd expect to be back. So I don't think that Arsenal will be in a title race next season. So I think this season they should have thrown everything that they had at it. And I just look at it, the January transfer window, and I just think that they've gone in half-assed. They've not really full sent it, and I think that's quite disappointing actually. And I think the way that they're playing at the moment, Arsenal, no wins in 4. They've got a tricky game coming up against Aston Villa as well, and then they've got Leicester who had a couple of decent results. They could be out of this title race in a couple of weeks. And obviously it's hypothetical, sure, but I just look back in January and go, I think they could have done more. I think they should have done more, 100%. And I think that could end up costing them the Premier League. And for me, I think they should have gone out and got a CDM. They could have got a CDM. They didn't have to go for the boy Moises Caicedo. They didn't have to go for him. There's other players around Europe, you know what I mean, that you could have got for 50, 60 million. That would have been better than Jorginho and added a bit of steel in the centre defensive mid position. And I think that if you were going to go and get Trossard, you could have got, again, I do feel that there was better options out there. But look, for me, the Trossard one's not really it. I just look at the CDM position, I think. When Partey's not in that team, they're not a title challenging side. They're not. Look at the results. Look at the results when Partey doesn't play. Poor. But yeah, that's the first one. Point number 2. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to put this down to the manager, naivety, maybe a bit of inexperience. And you could put that inexperience on the players as well. I've been saying for a very long time that I think Arsenal made a huge, monumental error when they played Manchester City in the FA Cup game and rested their full back line and didn't go for it. What that did is it signalled to the players that Mikel Arteta wasn't that bothered about the competition. It signalled to the fans that they're not that asked about the competition. And City got the win. Now, what that did is it did quite a lot. 1, it gave Manchester City the confidence that this Arsenal team can be caught and can be beat because we just beat them. And 2, it ended that momentum and it put the pressure on. And what it did for City, it did the opposite for Arsenal. Arsenal were then in the dressing room after the game and in training the day after thinking, oh God, they can catch us. They're a good team. They just beat us. I think that was a huge, gigantic mistake. Now, some people may go, what LB? He could have played, Mikel Arteta could have played his full strength squad and lost the game. That's completely correct. But had they lost the game, they could have worked out areas on the football pitch that they made mistakes, areas where maybe City were better than them. And then in the game in the Premier League, rectified that. I think you've seen in the sort of, when Manchester City made that change in the sort of 65th minute and brought Akanji on for Mahrez and went to a flat back four, it was a little bit more difficult for Arsenal to get into the game. You've seen Saka struggle and Martinelli/Trossard both struggled there as well. The defenders started making mistakes, Gabriel and Zinchenko. And that's because they've not played in the game before. I just think they made a huge, huge error with that FA Cup game. It ended momentum. They're now 4 games without a win, all started for the FA Cup game. Are you telling me that if they would have beat Manchester City in that FA Cup game that they would have lost against Everton and drawn against Brentford? I just don't see it. I think momentum is the most powerful thing in football, especially in league football. I think once momentum ends, regardless of what competition it is, it can really, really hurt you. So, look, that's my 2 things. That one, transfer window. I think they've had a poor transfer window and just lacked ambition. And number 2, I think manager inexperience, naivety. I think the players are clearly inexperienced. You've seen that last night. I thought Arsenal played really well, but I think the reason Manchester City won the game was due to their experience. So, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Do you agree with the 2 points? Is there anything else that you might think could cost Arsenal the title? Of course, it's not over, and Arsenal still have a great chance of winning this. And if they win the game in hand or even get a point, they will go back to the top of the table. But let me know, is there anything else that you think could cost Arsenal the title that I've not discussed in this video? Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, smash the thumbs up on the video. Subscribe to the channel as well if you're new. We're very close to the next target. And I'll see you in the next one. See you later, guys.